Nick's up. What's up, Nick? I chatted with him just recently, and this is this answering this question. I'm going to answer the part about the redirect, but I'm not going to get into the first part of the question. If there's any follow-up questions about it, that would only be reserved for paid groups, guys. So Nick, you might have revealed a little bit more than we would like for anybody to reveal in a free setting in your question alone. So I'm just not going to expand on that, but I will answer the second part about about the URL structure itself. So he's saying he's having issues pasting a GMB embed link that gets rejected every time. The post only gets through when I put the GMB embed power link in a bit.ly shortener. Any ideas here? I'm just wondering. My follow-up question for this, Nick, to be able to answer it would be, because I've not had that issue whatsoever. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've not had that issue. Not even one of them has been rejected. I've had GMB posts rejected recently for two things. Number one was phone numbers in the post text. And number two, so in the post body itself, if you want a call, a call action from the post, use the call button. Right, the CTA button, which will be a tap to call button. So that's number one. Number two is, interestingly, I've had some like trigger words within the post body that apparently Google doesn't like because it considers them, offensive or whatever. For example, all I do is tree service stuff anymore, and there was one post in particular that kept getting rejected and I couldn't figure it out. And then I literally read word for word through it. And they talk about, it was talking about tree pruning methods, right? And one of the things was you make a crotch cut, and the word crotch caused the fucking, no kidding. Even though contextually it had nothing to do with somebody's crotch. It was talking about what they call, it's a technical term called a crotch cut. And, I removed that word crotch cut and it took the post. So it was really interesting. It took me multiple attempts to figure out what it was. And then I realized I wonder if it's that one word. And sure enough, it was that one word. So the URL structure itself shouldn't have any effect on whether it gets published or not. At least I have never experienced that. Have you, Marco?
It's a forbidden term.
Yeah, crotches, right. But the URL structure that he's referring to shouldn't cause any issues.
No.
However, you can just to kind of get to answer your question, use a shortener. I wouldn't use Bitly, guys. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people out there using Bitly, and maybe Bitly stopped doing this. I don't know, because I don't really analyze Bitly links anymore, or bit links, whatever you want to call them. But a number of years ago, Bitly they were 301 redirects, but then arbitrarily Bitly would just apply a 302 tag to it. So in other words, it would become a 302 redirect at some point, and there was no rhyme or reason to it that we could discern. And so, what you think is a 301 redirect could eventually become a 302 redirect without you knowing about it. Now, again, I don't know that Bitly still does that. I just stopped using Bitly years ago because of that reason. So I would, again, point you back to mgyb.co/s. That's the mgyb.co shortener that gives you the same or a lot more functionality than Bitly does, unless you have a Bitly premium account. And it's, again, that's one thing you could do, or you could always set up your own redirect, which, if you've got a brand, stuff that you're doing for branding and all that, it might make sense to do so. So that would be,
I don't tell people to use their own shortener because it takes so long to power it up.
It does.
I just said, come use ours. I mean, get into one of the paid versions of our plug. Do yourself a favor. Don't do me a favor, because at $27 a month or 47, I'm not making any money on it. We're just charging the maintenance on it, and all of the things that we have to do to keep it going. That's all we get from it. But do yourself a favor and get the shortener, and then just watch it go crazy. I'm also going to show in the Heavy Hitter Club webinar a week from tomorrow how to create a double shortened link. So how to use two shorteners to double shorten a link and multiply the power, and then you blast both of those. It's fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff happening in the Heavy Hitter Club that provides just tons and tons of power, guys. Come get it.
So the last thing, so there are the alternatives, Nick, but will a redirect pass juice? Yes, as long as it's a 301.
Yes.
So that's the point. That's the point. You know, if you use a redirect, it becomes a 302 or is set as a 302 or a 307 or a meta refresh with any more than a 0-second delay, anything like that, it kills link equity. Like it just stops the link equity from flowing. So, you know, as long as it's a 301 redirect, or it can be a meta refresh with a 0, you know, whatever redirect timing, then it will pass PageRank. Okay.